Have you ever stopped to think about the food on your plate? What if it was, little by little, making you sick? Today, we're going to dive deep into a hidden health crisis happening in India and explore a really incredible solution that could change, well, everything. I mean, just read that. It's a shocking statement, isn't it? But according to our source material, this is the reality for millions of people. We're not talking about some far-off threat. We're talking about the food we all eat every single day and the invisible damage it could be doing to our bodies. So here's our game plan. First, we'll unpack this slow poison epidemic. Then we'll look at the environmental emergency that's driving it. After that, we'll get into the details of the SMART FPO solution, a major challenge it faces, and finally, we'll look at what a poison-free future could really mean. Okay, let's get right into it. Section 1, the slow poison epidemic. You know, this is a public health emergency that's unfolding right in front of us, on our dinner plates. The source material draws a direct and, honestly, a chilling line from the chemicals used in our agriculture to a huge spike in what we call lifestyle diseases. Just think about that. A nationwide epidemic of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and kidney failure, all potentially being fueled by the chemical residues left in our food. And here's where it gets truly heartbreaking. The most visible victims of this crisis, it's our youth. Experts are actually pointing to these chemical poisons as a major factor in the shocking rise of sudden cardiac attacks, linking them directly to things like vascular inflammation and organ damage. It's terrifying. You know, with stakes this high, the entire conversation is shifting. Access to safe, chemical-free food isn't being seen as a luxury anymore. It's being reframed as a fundamental right, an absolute national necessity to protect people's lives. So you have to ask, how did we get here? This health crisis didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's actually a symptom of a much deeper problem. To understand the poison on our plates, we have to start by looking at the poison in our soil. And this right here, this illustrates the choice we're facing so perfectly. On one side, you have chemical farming. It's led to what's being called dead soil. It guzzles water, and it creates massive greenhouse gas emissions. But on the other side, natural farming offers a way to actually revive the soil, conserve water, and even help India meet its climate goals. The contrast is just stark. And look, this isn't just a theory. Government bodies are really starting to take notice. We're seeing actual directives from both the national and state agricultural ministries pushing for a transition to natural farming. They're treating this as an urgent official call to action. Okay, so if chemical farming is the problem, what's the solution? Well, the source points to this really innovative model called the SMART FPO. The whole idea is to democratize clean food. It was developed by an organization called Best Care, and the SMART FPO model has one revolutionary goal: to make clean, chemical-free food a right for everybody, not just a luxury for the wealthy few. So how does it actually work? Well, it stands on three really powerful pillars. First, affordability. The clean food has to be sold at or even below current market prices. Second, a zero-waste philosophy. This is genius. It means turning agricultural byproducts into new revenue streams, things like biofertilizers or cattle feed, which brings down the overall cost. And third, radical transparency. Using a simple QR code on the package, you can trace your food's entire journey, right back to the farm, which guarantees it's genuinely chemical-free. But you know, implementing this solution isn't so simple. There's a major conflict of interest right at the heart of the very organizations that are meant to lead this change, the farmer-producer organizations, or FPOs. And here is the central paradox. It's a real head-scratcher. Many of the FPOs that are meant to help farmers, well, they actually make their money by selling the very chemicals that are causing this crisis. Their business model is literally tied to the slow poison economy, creating a massive conflict of interest when it comes to switching to natural farming. And that brings us to the central question, doesn't it? Can these organizations evolve? Can they transform themselves from being sellers of chemicals into becoming guardians of the nation's health? The source argues that this isn't just a business decision anymore, it's a moral obligation. So this brings us to our conclusion. This shift to natural farming is being presented as way more than just a change in agricultural policy. It's being framed as a national movement to reclaim our collective health and our future. The stakes really couldn't be clearer. Without a democratic model like the SMART FPO, clean food could stay a privilege, just deepening that health divide between the rich and the poor. This model is being positioned as the most powerful tool we have to stop that from happening. And really, it all comes down to this one powerful vision: a future that's built on healthy soil, which in turn leads to a safe childhood for the next generation, and ultimately creates a poison-free India. The question it leaves us with is, what role will each part of society, from the farmers to the FPOs to us as consumers, play in making this vision a reality?